Hey everybody! So, it is finally time for the Georgia Tech schedule prediction from Cdogg. This is something that I look forward to doing every offseason. Obviously, schedule predictions, a super fun time. And I'm stoked to take a look at the Jackets schedule and freaking tell you what games they're going to win and lose this year, okay? And I'm freaking stoked to go through the schedule. I know everything about Georgia Tech, so pretty much everything that I say here, you need to take as law, okay? The season will unfold exactly how I am pretty much saying. So, without any further ado, why don't we just jump in? I am really looking forward to this season from the Jackets, okay? Obviously, there was this whole storyline of what's been going on. You know, we got a new coach and everything. I've gone over the story a million times. If you've been paying to my attention to my content, you know that I have a lot of faith in Brent Key and this roster and everything else. I really think that we're going to be really good this year. I think that Brent Key did an absolute amazing job as interim coach, and I can only imagine, you know, if he's able to take over a disastrous Jeff Collins team in the middle of the season and do what he was able to do, I'm super excited to see what he can do with a full offseason of preparation. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and look at the schedule. You know, as I'm sitting down to do the schedule prediction, I realize a lot of this offseason, I've relented a lot to the naysayers of this, okay? I think that this team and this roster is capable of doing great things, okay? And I'm not going to let what anybody says get in the way of what I'm going to predict this team, because you know what? I think this team can be really successful. So if you're one of these people that think Georgia Tech will struggle to get to a bowl, think again, okay? Think again. I'm going to set it straight here. You know, I'm not going to be afraid to tell you what I think about what our team can win this and get. And you're going to say, oh, Cdogg, they can't win that many games. Bull crap. This freaking roster is capable of winning. Let's get into this. Starting with Louisville. Okay, Louisville, we get them September 1st in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And it's going to be on a Friday night. And Louisville, this is just a perfect matchup for us, because Louisville is, for some reason, the most overhyped team of the offseason. They're up there with Florida State levels of hype for no reason. It snowballed out of control, and it started out as, oh, you know, Louisville might be good. They're doing pretty good in the transfer portal, this and that. Now they're talking about Louisville winning 11 games and making the ACC championship. That's not happening. Louisville might be good, okay? But they have a roster almost completely comprised of transfer portal players. They have had one of the highest amounts of attrition in the transfer portal, overshadowed, of course, by Colorado. But a lot of people don't realize Louisville had 36 players leave in the transfer portal. 30-something players leave. They had that many come in, too. But there's no telling how that's going to go. You know, you had Lincoln Riley able to do that at USC. He was able to turn the roster around in 1 year and do all this and that. Well, we've also seen that can be absolutely detrimental to a team. You can't, you know, you're taking a huge risk when you are trying to fill your entire roster with transfer portal players. You're taking a huge risk, and it's also year one for Jeff Brom, which I'm not besmirching Jeff Brom. That was a great hire. They really hit a home run freaking hiring him. But, I mean, this level of hype that Louisville is getting is honestly mind-blowing to me, and I just don't get it. I think that they could win 6 or 7 games and be middle-of-the-road ACC team, but they could also just as easily miss a bowl. But they're not winning 11, 10, 9, or even 9 games. It's just not happening. So when we're looking at this matchup between Georgia Tech and Louisville, well, obviously you have a very underrated team in Georgia Tech and a very overhyped team in Louisville, okay? And so a lot of people expect Louisville to just blow us out. I'm going to tell you that's not happening. Louisville, either way, this has been a really tough game for me to pick, okay? But either way, we're not getting blown out. We're just not. Brent Key, I think the days of us getting blown out are over. And obviously things happen, and it happens. But I just think that we're going to come into every game this season with a chance to win. Okay, and I think Brent Key's doing all the right things. And, this game immediately is a crossroads for both teams. In game one of the season, a crossroads. I can't overstate the importance of this Louisville game. Okay, Louisville, this is a chance for us to take down this insanely overrated team. It's nobody else is going to be watching any other games at this time. It's on Friday night. We're the only game on besides like Miami and Miami of Ohio. Nobody's watching that crap unless Miami loses. That'd be really funny. But we're going to be playing pretty much by ourselves on Friday night. The whole world's going to be watching, and nobody expects us to win. Nobody. They think that we're going to be struggling to make a bowl. Everyone I've seen picking us to lose to Louisville. Well, I think we're going to beat Louisville. I really do. I believe in Brent Key. I think it'll be a close game either way, whether we lose or not. I would say that we can lose, and just because we lose doesn't mean it's the end of the world. However, I do think this is a really good opportunity for us to show everybody what Georgia Tech is now. I think it's a huge opportunity, and I think we do it. I have faith in Brent Key. You got 2 first-year head coaches, but what really gives me the edge is Brent Key comes into this game with continuity from last year, and he's able to build upon what it is from last year. He knows the roster. We have some coaching holdovers from last season, and we just we don't have an entire team composed of transfer players like Louisville does, and we just had more time. And I've been hearing weird stuff at Louisville's practice. This also helped decide. They had like 3 fights before lunch the other day, and people are like, oh, well, fights don't matter in practice. That means they're chippy and they're getting at it, whatever. 3 before lunchtime is not a good sign, okay? I don't know who needed to hear that, but I seen all these Louisville fans like excited about this news, like, oh yeah, these players got fight. Well, they didn't have fight when they're playing the other team, not when they're playing each other, okay? And it's just a bad sign, especially when you have a team that is entirely transfers. I mean, you bring in all these new players, a new coach, new this and that, and staff and everything, and they're fighting each other. It doesn't seem like a good sign to me, but just had to throw that in there. Louisville, completely overrated team, and I think that we're going to beat them week 1. I've got complete faith. We're going to take them down in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Moving on. South Carolina State, we're going to beat them. Don't really need to spend a lot of time on that. It's an FCS team. They are a pretty good FCS team, though. I think, they made their national championship or whatever it is they have in FCS. They, made it or won it or something. I don't know. It doesn't matter. We're gonna beat South Carolina State. If we can't beat South Carolina State, we got some issues. Okay, next is Ole Miss on the road. Now, Ole Miss is a team that I have been really getting irritated with. Of course, they've taken 3 players from us. They took Zamari Walton, Akilo Stone, and Jared Ivey from us. And it just seems like they keep tampering with our players. That's what it is. It's tampering. Lane Kiffin's tampering with our players and getting away with it. I mean, that's what it is. Cdogg. I am accusing Lane Kiffin of tampering with Georgia Tech players. That's what's happening. And now he's got Jemias Griffin, too, which he had already transferred to Oregon State. Now he's at Ole Miss. Very cool. Lane Kiffin is tampering with our players. It's just a known fact kind of around Georgia Tech. But, I mean, you can get away with that now, I guess. So it's very frustrating. Obviously, it's frustrating with his smart little comments that he comes and brings last year, when he's talking about Jeff Collins and blowing us out and stuff. And he's just a cocky, freaking annoying guy. Been really irritating having to deal with him. This is the second leg of our home and home. Of course, we hosted them last year. Blew us out 42-0 at home. Look, I think we lose this game, but I don't think we lose it in that fashion, okay? Like I said, the days of us getting blown out are over, and I really think that, I mean, I think that we can give them a fight. Okay, Ole Miss, I really don't know if they're going to be better than last year. Probably, I would say they were insanely overrated last year. Okay, and if they're anything like they were last year, we can beat Ole Miss. Okay, they were not. They started out like 7-0 or something, and then they got into the second half of their schedule, which was actual real like good teams, and they completely lost out and then got blown out in their bowl game. Ole Miss was super overrated last year, I think. And they're just kind of fool's gold. They looked really good towards the end of the season against crappy competition. Towards the beginning of the season against crappy competition, and now they kind of exposed themselves whenever they had to play actual good teams. So a team like that, if they're anything like that, then no. I do think we can beat them. I tend to think they're probably going to be a little better, though. They're definitely more talented, tougher. Lane Kiffin's been there for a while. I sure would like to beat them, but, it's just a tough spot on the road. Got to go play in the Grove, and that'll be tough. I do think Britt Key will have us ready, in all these games. I think he'll have us ready and have a real chance of winning each game. And hopefully we play them close, but, maybe get out of there with a 1 or 2 touchdown loss or something like that. But watch out, okay? Because, this is a prime spot for an upset. I definitely think we are going to be upsetting several teams this year, probably because we'll be an underdog in most games. But this is one of our good upset spots. I'll pick the loss, but you never know. Moving on to Wake Forest. Now, this is a game that a lot of people look at that we can win. It is the second leg of a 2-week, road game stretch. So you would like to see us go 1-1 in this series. Look, I have huge respect for Dave Clawson and what he does at Wake Forest, okay? I think that a lot of people are really underrating Wake Forest. Like, they lose Sam Hartman, they're like, oh, Wake Forest, who's Mitch Griffiths? He's going to be, they're going to be terrible. Look, this is what Wake Forest does. They're going to pull some 3-star that nobody's ever heard of out of their ass, and he's going to be the hottest thing, and he's going to, put up a bunch of yards or make a bunch of tackles or whatever it is. They're going to have some amazing player. It's just what they do. Has nobody been noticed this trend of Wake Forest? Can anybody name me any Wake Forest recruits? No. But they always come, they come out and play hard on the field, and that is what they have going on at Wake Forest. It's a hugely, a really good developmental program. Dave Clawson's got his system in there, his offense, and knows what he's doing, okay? And I have no doubt that even though they lost Sam Hartman, the best quarterback, whatever, they lost him. I have no doubt that, Dave Clawson's going to fill that spot and have these guys ready to play. They're a very well-coached team. They put up a lot of yards on offense. Just, out of respect for that, I probably would say we lose. I'm not so full of ourselves that I think that we can, take down this program that's had years and years of continuity and program built, and, they are one of our rivals that we are going to be playing with yearly in the 3-3-5, them in Louisville and Clemson. So, we will be able to probably compete with them a little bit better here in the next few years. For this year, though, Brent Key's first full year, I think that these guys are probably going to get us, I'm just not so sure if we can go up in there into their stadium and get the win. I really would like to see us go 1-1 in this road stretch here, although I'm just not so sure, I'm just not so sure. I really have a lot of respect for Wake Forest, and it's hard for me to pick a win against them. Okay, next is Bowling Green. No need to really dwell on that. We're going to beat them. Then we got an interesting road game against Miami. Now, we really do go in there and play Miami good at their stadium. It's a road game for both teams here, of course. Georgia Tech goes on the road down to Miami. Miami has to go on the road to their own stadium from Coral Gables, of course, to the Dolphins Stadium because they don't have their own stadium. So it's my opinion that whoever is the home team in this situation has the freaking disadvantage because neither of these teams play good at home. That's a tradition that I'm hoping that we break this year. Okay, so here's the thing with Miami. Are they more talented than us? Yes. However, Mario Cristobal teams I have observed when he was at Oregon, okay, you can beat Mario Cristobal teams even though they've got all the talent in the world. We saw this at Mario's last year there at Oregon when they played Utah twice in the same year, and Utah beat the snot out of them twice. Both times, and it was the exact same result every time because Utah was better coached and tougher than they were. Even though they had all this talent, you can beat Miami, Mario Cristobal coached teams, if you're tougher than them. Okay, he leans a lot on his talent to win, and in the future, I think that that's good enough to beat a lot of people. But in the future, if you are a well-coached, tough team and you out-physical them, you can beat them, no matter how freaking talented they are. That's just what Mario Cristobal has shown. So the question is here, are we going to be tough enough in year one, full year one of Brent Key, that we're going to be tough enough to take Miami and out-physical them like I was saying? They have a bye week before this game coming into this game against us, so they get 2 weeks to prepare. Can we? I don't know. It's a tough question. It's a really tough game for me to pick here. I think I'm going to pick us to win here. I just have faith. I think that I think that Miami has a lot of kind of transitioning still. It's only Mario's second year there, but Mario Cristobal has a new offensive and defensive coordinator this year, and he's still trying to get that roster turnover. He's got a bunch of players that didn't want to talk to him, and I just think in this situation, I think that we probably can go in there and take them down. This is just faith in our team to play tough. Brent Key has preached toughness throughout the entire offseason, so this is me just drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit and trusting in Brent Key and thinking that we can go down there and push them around a little bit and shock them. We saw this last year with Duke. Nobody thought Duke would beat Miami last year. They freaking went there and blew them out. Okay. And I think we can, I think we can handle them too. It'll probably be a really close game. And of all the wins I have here on the schedule, this is probably the least confident I am. But hey, here's my faith and freaking Brent Key and the boys to go up in there and take down them Hurricanes. That'll be awesome. Yeah, come on. Then we got a bye week, and then we take on Boston College. Okay, now Boston College obviously terrible last year. Jeff Hafley is going to be playing for his job, so it's very possible that he doesn't even have a job at this point. It just depends if we can. Oh, hey, this is on my birthday too. How about that? We're going to be playing them on my birthday. Away game on my birthday. Or no, a home game. A home game on my birthday, so that'll be cool. The freaking win for my Jackets here will be awesome. That's what I'm going to pick too, by the way, a win. It's very possible that Jeff Hafley's fired. Now, Boston College, they could improve and become a bowl team or something, but I don't know. They got an uphill battle. Last year was just absolutely horrible. They lost to, UConn. Dude, what? What is going on at Boston College? I'll admit I don't know a ton about Boston College, but from what I've seen last year, could they be better this year? I don't know. I think that I just think my Jackets are better than them. We're definitely more talented than them, and this is the type of game that we should not be losing. We should definitely be able to handle Boston College. I'm going to give us a win at home against them. Next is North Carolina. So I'm just going to say this. We are going – there's absolutely no way we're losing to North Carolina. In fact, we're going to blow them out. We're going to blow them out. Okay? We've handled them no problem the past couple of years. They got blown out by Jeff freaking Collins and Jeff Sims in the Mercedes-Benz Stadiums 2 years ago. That was a 3-win team, and we freaking destroyed them. Okay? And then you come in here last year, we're on our third and fourth string quarterbacks, and we go into their building, and we still beat them. We're down 17-0. We still come back and beat them. Andrew Thacker has this offense figured out, okay, and he shuts it down every time, and they can't do anything about it, okay? And they still have, if that doesn't, convince you, they still have Gene Chizik as freaking defensive coordinator. Their defense has been atrocious, lately, and I think that we're gonna carve them up. This is going to be an ass beating. Just telling you now. Just telling you now. We're going to destroy North Carolina. There's absolutely no way we lose to North Carolina. I'm just telling you now. You can laugh at me. Tell me what you want. North Carolina could win 9, 10 games, 11 games. We're beating North Carolina, and we're beating them bad. It's just a thing that happens in the ACC, okay? Some teams have other teams' numbers. Virginia has had our number. We got North Carolina's. That's just the way it is. North Carolina has Miami's number. It's just one of those things that, it happens in the ACC. It's not happening this year. They're not getting over that hump. We're taking them down, and it's going to be bad because the past two teams have been terrible, and North Carolina had a good team last year, and we freaking derailed their entire season, okay? And Mac Brown, past his prime in coaching, needs to retire. They're not going to fire him, though, and they're just in for a rough time. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. You can laugh at me. You cannot believe me. I believe in this. We're blowing them out. So, I mean, it just is what it is. When it comes to college football, we're higher on the food chain than North Carolina. We're their predator, okay? They're not freaking getting one over us on us this year. They're just not. We're going to beat them. We're going to beat them for the foreseeable future. They freaking cried and pounded their freaking air whenever they found out that we were retaining Andrew Thacker because they can't do nothing against his defense, okay? This is later in the season. We're going to have hit our stride. Yeah. North Carolina, they're done. So that's going to be an easy win for my Jackets at home. I have so much confidence in this game. It's like not even funny. Like I'm not even joking. I'm dead serious. We're going to destroy them. Moving on to Virginia, which we had one of the worst displays of football in the whole world against them last year. Don't even get me started on that, dude. We hosted them for a Thursday night game, and our quarterback went down against them, and you talk about two teams with two terrible offenses. I mean, this was a really hard-to-watch game last year. I was at it, and it was on my birthday, and it was just a horrible time. So, I don't expect that we lose to them, okay, this year. I think we beat them. Virginia's just a really terribly coached team. I mean, I know they beat us last year, but that was kind of a fluky thing where our quarterback went down, and even still, they barely beat us. Like, Virginia is going to be really, really bad. I think this is going to be an easy win, even though it's on the road. I really just don't see us having a problem beating Virginia. It's, like, not going to be an issue. Tony Elliott has shown, like, no promise of being any good, of a coach, and they had a horrible year last year, and they're going to have a horrible year this year. That Tony Elliott hire was horrible. I don't know what they were thinking. He was about to get fired from Clemson. Like, he was not even doing a good job running the offense of one of the most talented teams in the country. I don't know what you think he's going to be doing at Virginia. I mean, he took an okay like bowl team from Banca Mendenhall and tanked it to like a 3 and whatever team, because I know they didn't play their last few games last year, but this is a team that's like, yeah, I just really think this is going to be an easy win. Okay, then we go to Clemson. This is a loss for me. I would have honestly been very, very tempted to pick us to win this game, but for one reason: if Clemson had not hired freaking Garrett Riley. Okay, I think that was really unexpected of Dabo to do, because he keeps promoting from within to his own detriment. Well, he brings in Garrett Riley, who has made TCU what it was the year before. I can only imagine what he's going to be able to do with the talent there at Clemson, and I think that they're going to be really good. I think it's going to put them right back on top of the college football world in the playoff hunt, and I just don't think we're going to have Jimmys and the Joes right now to take on Clemson. As much as I would love to freaking finally beat them after years and years of not freaking being able to, I think this is a loss to Clemson on the road. Death Valley, obviously an extremely hard place to play. We have given them fits in the past couple of years, so this might be a close game. But with the talent or everything, I just don't think we can. So, okay, and then next we get Syracuse at home. Now this is a nice spot to come back home here. Between, obviously, we got to play Clemson and then freaking Georgia the week after that. So it's like this is a nice break sort of game to get in between those two games. But Syracuse, this is a tough game for me to pick too. You never know with Syracuse. You never know if they're going to be, surprisingly good or bad. I don't even know what to say about last year. They started out like 6-0 or something, and then lost like most of their last games. They went on like this terrible losing streak, and I don't know, man. They've got a long-time starter coming back with Garrett Schrader. This is a tough one kind of to pick, too. You just never know these kind of middle-of-the-road ACC games. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and pick us to win this one, too. Syracuse, well, I think we can take them down at home. I think that'll be fine. And I just believe that we can beat them, Could Dino Babers be fired by this point in the year? Are they going to be a 7-win team? Are they going to be a 6-win team? Are they going to be a 3-win team? Couldn't tell you. But I do have faith we can beat them. These are the type of games that, that we should be able to beat. We should be able to out-talent them, have more toughness in them, and get a nice win at home before we go into the Georgia game. So, last game of the year, we have Georgia, a freaking easy mop-up win, okay? We're going to take them hush puppies down, no freaking problem, and it's going to be great, and we're going to freaking kick their ass, okay? So, there's that. But let me tell you something, okay? Georgia is not as far a freaking way as everybody thinks they are, okay? We came up in there last year in their overrated freaking Sanford Stadium and gave them a shock, and their freaking jaws hit the floor, and they didn't know what they were seeing. They couldn't comprehend that we come in there with our third and fourth string quarterback at the time and freaking gave the big bad Bulldogs a scare. We're not freaking scared of the Bulldogs, okay? Brett Key is not, and Brett Key has said that he is going to be working tirelessly to freaking take down the Bulldogs, and I believe it when he says that, because he played for the team. He knows how important it is for us to win this game, and I have made this prediction on the Georgia Tech live show that I do with Rec Talk. We're going to beat Georgia in the next 2 to 3 years. Was my prediction. So you can laugh at me all you want. Think the big bad freaking Bulldogs are untouchable. They're not. They're not. Got Carson Beck at quarterback. He freaking sucks. Give me a break. Brent Key is going to do everything in his power to freaking take down the Bulldogs, okay? And it's going to happen here soon. Sooner rather than later. So you can laugh at me, make fun of me. Oh, I'm picking us to go 8-4. Well, I'm tired of pretending like this team isn't capable of going 8-4. I've said, all offseason that this is our ceiling. And to be honest, I think we could probably win 9 games. I think that this team is capable of a lot. You know, we were an 8-win caliber team last year. We just had, we just had some issues holding us back, like the quarterback and the special teams. Okay, and in the offense, I think that we're going to get that cleaned up and be able to realize our potential. You can laugh at me. You can freaking say I'm a dumb homer, and you can say, "Oh, Cdogg, you're freaking going too far. This isn't, you're not going to be able to win all that." Well, I think we can, and I think we will. Okay, is it more likely? I think probably 7 or 8 wins. That Miami game I was talking about, how I was, not super confident in that one. Maybe we drop the Miami game and go 7-5. I think our lowest win is 6 games. I think that. I truly believe that. All the issues that Brent Key had last year when he took over the team as an interim, and he still got to 5 wins. So we would have got, if Brent Key had taken over just a week sooner, we would have run UCF off the field and made a freaking bowl. And then would people think it's so impossible for Georgia Tech to make a bowl this year? No. These people don't know what they're talking about. I do. Okay? This team can go 8-4. This team can go 9-3. 8-4 is their freaking ceiling, or their floor. That's what the players said. They said they want at least 8 wins. I think they can do it. I think they will. So run and tell that. Okay? Run and tell that, homeboy. 8-4 is my official prediction for the Jackets in 2023. And let me know. Am I too much of a homer? Nothing stopping you from typing that in the freaking comment section and making fun of me and telling me that I'm overrating us and everything else. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. So if you think that's the case, then go ahead and let me know. Or if you believe in the Jackets like I do, then give me a Go Jackets in the freaking chat. And I'll see you next time.